can't just go, okay, I'm going to sell now, because then all the real estate fees, you know, they got to pay the bank off. You know, it can be a dangerous situation. So if you know someone who's just bought, and you want to tell them something that I've mentioned, this is your warning, because these sort of things can get pretty heated. But if you want to talk to someone who hasn't just bought or is thinking about buying, then go nuts. You know, just cover the key points that I've mentioned here, and be like, you got to go all out. You know, you got to, yeah, because otherwise they could be making, this could be like a 35-year colossal mistake. I don't want to say it. It's a little extreme. You can edit that out, because I didn't want to go too negative on you guys or anything like that. But yeah, that's it.
Questions?
Yeah, sure. Any questions? Yes?
If you're showing this to anyone, you've been saying the difference in the interest rate is 0.65, it's 0.55.
No, that was a hypothetical.
But you're saying 4.25 to 4.8 the entire time you've been saying the difference is 0.65?
No, that was a hypothetical. I was saying.
But your math
hold on,
is
hold
wrong.
on. No, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I was just saying, if you're in this scenario where interest rates were this amount.
Yeah, that's fine. I get that.
I'm not saying they are. They're not.
But
your math is wrong. You're off by a point.
Oh, whatever. I was off by like. I did a dry run on this, and I was off way more. In other stuff.
Is this presentation part of something for like the Applied Business Project, or is this?
No, this presentation is basically for the Finance Club. Okay. You know, we're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff like this throughout the year. It's an awesome club, you know, just sharing information. You know, it's all about money, so it's like everybody uses money. You know, it's all about investing, real estate, obviously, mortgages. You know, yes.
So after you read now a while about the real estate boom, what do you think? Where are we going from here?
Well, if you watch this presentation and you thought that I did two things really well, that I just told you about the players, the government, the Bank of Canada, and all this kind of stuff, and I explained how they're involved. If you think I explained that really well, and you think I explained the rise really well, but you don't think I explained the drop really well, then maybe you didn't quite get it, because all these reasons of why interest rates have gone up are the exact reasons why, all these reasons of why property values have gone up are basically the exact reasons why property values will go down. You know, when the payments are the lowest ever, and all they can do is become more expensive, I mean, that's not a good sign for the future, right?
No, but I mean, if you go back 1 year and you had, or 1.5 years, and you had 3.5% interest rate.
Well, to me, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's say
huge gap.
Okay,
it's like 3.25%.
Let's say a year from now, you guys pull me aside and you're like, buddy, interest rates are still at the rate you said they were. You're an idiot, you know. Or 2 years from now, or 3 years, or whatever, right? And if property values haven't dropped, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm wrong, because I think a bad decision now will be a bad decision in the future. It's not even like, oh, it's a risky time to invest. Because you see, already, construction is still high. You know, there's still a huge supply of new products, right? And demand can be neutralized like that, like we saw up at the top. So if, you know, I mean, I don't really care, because I'm basically, if you listen to me and you don't buy, and then I don't know, I think it's risky, but I think it's also just not smart, you know? Yeah?
So I understand that you're saying that you think that people should hold off. I agree with you, but also just a little bit kind of confused as to your reasoning behind why you think that people should wait for higher interest rates.
Okay, well, it's not.
I know that that's associated
yeah, okay,
with
I totally
price,
understand what you're
or
saying.
decreasing price. By
totally understand what you're saying. It's that rebound, right?
So.
People over the last spring just bought a bunch of places because interest rates are low. They want to get in while the interest rate's low. They don't want to get in while the interest rate's high, right? Hold on one second. They don't want to get in too late when it's more expensive, right? But it's like what I said in that extended amortization thing. It's not an or question. It's not like I get in while it's low before it goes high. It's I get in while it's low and just cross my fingers and hope they don't increase it. Because it's not like if I wait a year and I end up buying when interest rates are higher, that other person who bought the year previously they're going to face the music 5 years from whenever they bought. Because they're going to be in a situation where it is more expensive. And then it's, you know, like what I said, what was it, how much? 0.6.
It's 0.55.
55, yeah. But, you know,
But that same person
oh, that's
who
even
can,
scarier.
that same person who can only afford $2,000 regardless,
Yeah.
if they're buying in at a higher interest rate, even if the house is worth less, they're still chipping away at like a very small portion of the principal anyways, because most of it's going to the interest.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. Well, when interest rates go up, the property value will go down. I totally know what you're saying, but it's like, I can't say it other than, you know, the person who bought at the lower rate is going to face the higher rate, just like the person who bought later. They're going to face the higher rate too. But the person who bought later will be paying less, you know, in the end.
But
So, okay, let's say I don't buy today, and you buy today, you know, and interest rates shoot up like a percentage. You're saving in the interest payment, but you're losing in the value of the property, because it's only going to go down, because it's 11% more expensive for the next person to buy. One thing about low interest rates is that the incentive to save is not there. The incentive to have a down payment isn't there. Because like you said, it's super cheap. Whether you have 5% down or 20% down, you're paying a wicked low interest rate, right? But as interest rates go up, the value of a down payment goes up, you know? Because you're cutting into a bigger chunk of whatever the new rate is. You wanted to say something else?
No, I was just gonna say, so then your recommendation would essentially be that you should put down a larger percentage for
Well,
your
my main recommendation, obviously, if you can put down more by waiting and save for a bigger down payment, you should.
Yeah.
Because I haven't mentioned anything about really bad scenarios. All I did was I presented a very gentle scenario where you go from 4.25 to 4.8, and the consequence is you have to renegotiate for a 35-year mortgage. That's like if anyone has to face that type of thing, I mean, that's not too bad. But you remember in 80-81? I should go back, actually. Okay, yeah. This period? Guess what the mortgage rates were at this point. They were like over 20%, I think. Yeah.
just look it up there for 120.
And so you see, like, that's not normal. That's because they're fighting inflation. It was a crazy problem. But it's like, yeah, extreme situations are like you end up losing your home, you know? Like you buy now, which is great. You buy now at a great low rate, and it's locked in for 5 years. But if it shoots up 4, 5, 6% over that 5-year period, I mean, it's going to hurt the demand a lot, because it's 11%, 5, 6 times, you know? Yep.
But if I'm now approved, let's say for $1 million, and I would buy a house for 500, that would be a good entry point right now. I'm gonna bring that. Because
Well,
then I have the leverage, I have the time, even though it shoots up again on 3.5%, 3.25, which we had in an economic boom, 1.5 years ago, where you had a lot of high wages, a lot of prices shot up, so which is a lot of inflationary pressure. We had a high inflation rate during this time, so which had actually causing, or would have usually caused an increase in interest rates, which we didn't have because everything collapsed before it was happening.
Yeah.
But because of that, could you agree on that? That, you know, like if you overstretch yourself, you know, I get $1 million, I buy for $1 million. Now it's 1.2 million because interest rate is so high, I cannot pay it anymore, so I'm done. But if I leave that,
Well, it's like you take it the situation where it's like you bought early when it was cheap, but the value of your property is only what the person tomorrow is going to be willing to pay, right? So when interest rates go up, they're just not going to be willing to pay as much because they can't afford the payment. Yeah.
Right, but that's kind of based on the concept of quick flip, right? Like if you're talking about a long-term buy, it doesn't really matter because, as you pointed out yourself, real estate is a positive investment long-term. Equity will grow
Okay. Well,
over the long term.
you know, there was a. Yeah. Well, it's still like the beginning. A bad stake at the beginning can be like a really big mistake 35 years from now, right?
But
Like
that's-
there have been periods
Yeah.
during, I don't want to call them bubbles or anything like that, but there have been